The 2022 World Lacrosse Men's U21 Championship continues here on Lax Sports Network with the 5th place bracket semifinals. Japan, as they honor their national anthem, getting ready to play the Irish U21 squad on their home soil, working to honor their country, looking for that 5th place finish. 2 semifinals in this bracket today, starting with Ireland and Japan. Should be one of the best games we've had in this tournament thus far. They will continue to sing their anthems, and we will continue to get you ready. Face off coming up right after this on Lax Sports Network. Back live here at the University of Limerick. The ever-important placement continues in this bracket, this championship consolation bracket. A quick look at the face-offs as we begin. Japan, one of the best at the X all tournament long, and the scorers for each side. Connor Foley's been great in this tournament, 24 points. That's the 7th most of all the players that have been out there. And Sota Hakozaki's been a great leader for this Japanese squad as we get set and ready to go. Another breezy day in Ireland. Winds sustained in the 20s, gusting into the 40s, and Japan wins the opening faceoff. Takuma Komine getting in there to get a ground ball off the wing, and Japan will take over on the offensive end in Irish territory. Japan beating Israel yesterday 8-5 to get here. Israel actually led 4-3 at the end of the first half in that game. Japan a 5-goal run in the second to take it. Ireland an 11-3 win over Germany. They looked good yesterday. Both these teams winning their play-in game in the championship bracket, following in their second. Ireland losing to Canada, Japan losing to Australia in a close one. And now they fight for 5th to try and get into that 5th place game. Two of the most disciplined teams all tournament long between these two, Japan and Ireland. Japan the 2nd fewest penalty minutes, Ireland the 4th fewest. Should be a pretty clean game. Japan had some uncharacteristic turnovers against Israel yesterday. That is what kept Israel in that game. Japan's been probably the most disciplined team in the tournament so far, but if Ireland can start turning them over a little bit, that could certainly make an impact. And now, unfortunately for Japan, we have a player down here. That is Hakozaki. Trainers come out, he gets up slowly. 10 goals, 4 assists for Hakozaki over the course of this tournament as this Japanese team returns their first U19 junior tournament, if you will. This is, of course, the U21 iteration. Since 2008, they were in the top division that year, trying to get themselves back in that top division this year. Hakozaki will come off slowly. Something to watch here for Team Japan. They're going to call a 1-minute penalty against Ireland here early on. So Japan gets an early man up. Legal body check, and Hakozaki comes off slowly. It's the first of the 2 semifinals in this 5th place bracket. England, Puerto Rico to play in a little less than 3 hours from now, just after 3:30 p.m. local time here in Limerick. Tom Eschen with you on the call on Lax Sports Network. Japan on the man up. Talk about how few penalties these teams have had. This could be a big opportunity here early on for Japan. Pretty unselfish offensively. They will work it around, trying to find their best shot. Led by Naofumi Suzuki is Team Japan. That's their head coach, 46 years old, out of the University of Tokyo. He's helped develop, of course, on all sorts of different levels. Fujioka loses it briefly here behind the cage. Now we'll restart from X. Back on field 2 here once again today. Ishikawa takes the shot. First test today for Joe Walsh. Made 9 saves yesterday against Germany. He's at 58% in this tournament. That's one of the best marks so far. He has been excellent for Ireland, who have only dropped 1 game. That was the game against Canada, 17-7, and they battled in that game. That was a little bit closer than that score indicates. Yuta Kaigara, 8 goals, 2 assists in this tournament. Looks over the middle. Catch by Fujioka under the run. Continue to work it around. Kuroda, Walsh save. Picked up out of the air by Jack Galvin. He had 3 ground balls against Germany. Assumption Junior right now, Assumption College. And Ireland gets the first big stop of the day. They're led by Tom Pryor, their U19 coach since 2015. This tournament bumped back a couple of years due to COVID, so they moved up the age requirements to U21. With that, some players aging out, some aging in. That created some roster fluctuations for these teams the last couple of years, so it's been who has been able to have the most chemistry, the best chemistry, in the shortest amount of time. There, Matt Loftus was being righted right there on the center line. They didn't want to get the over and back. So timeout here for Ireland. No score here, just a couple minutes into this first quarter. Lax Sports Network's coverage of the U21 Men's World Lacrosse Championship continues all day long. Coming up after our game, we'll have 2 more live matchups from Ireland. You'll see the Netherlands-Hong Kong, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Then at 1:30 on our main channel, England takes on Puerto Rico. You can watch all the games live from Limerick on laxsn.com. This is the only place you can watch games today live from Limerick. Ireland takes over after the timeout on offense. Still no score. Back to even strength we go. Get to see this offense for the first time. Connor Foley has been so good all tournament long. 17 goals, 7 assists, working in tandem with Aiden Dempsey. 16 goals, 6 assists for Dempsey so far. It was Kevin Somerville against Germany yesterday. 5 goals, following up a 2-goal performance against Canada. And here he comes against this tough Japanese defense. A defense that has not allowed double-digit goals all tournament long. That's pretty good. Japan went unbeaten in group play. Now Somerville tries to work his way through, cannot. He's out of Baltimore, Maryland, goes to Colorado College. Now back at X for Foley, using that speed. Japan's best defenseman, their matchup defender, Sodayama, is going to be draped over him all day long. Sodayama's been great this tournament and trying to shut out the other team's #1 man. Dempsey, shot under duress. First look at Shun Ito, comes way out of the cage, and coming out with the possession is Sodayama. Absorbs a hit. Takes another one, and how about that clear? From the captain, 21 years old, Tokyo Kaguke University. He does have a goal. And tried to get that clear out, and there's going to be another penalty on Ireland. A slash. So that ball, of course, getting free. That's what triggered the penalty here, and Ireland with 2 early penalties in this game. Like I said, they haven't been penalized a whole lot in this tournament. That's a little surprising so early. Obviously, this is a big game. The next step and the next game, if you win here, is that 5th place game, which has a lot riding on it here. Otsuka, couple steps, Freedom scores. Wait just a second. That's wiped off. Japan a procedural penalty, so it remains 0-0. They had an offside call there on Japan, and now Ireland dodges another bullet. A couple of man-down opportunities that they have succeeded on and burning off these penalties. Now Ireland continuing to work it through offensively. Connor Foley, 2 goals, 2 assists against Germany. That was an 11-3 win, though. A little closer shots-wise than we've had. Germany got off a lot of shots against Walsh. Connor Breen came in at the end of that game, too. Here's Sean Horkin, 6 goals, 2 assists in his tournament. A little backhand shot, trying to take him by surprise, and that is not backed up. Japan will take over. Still no score here. You're wondering what some of those ambient whistles are. We have Sweden-Korea going on in the 15th place game alongside us over there on field 3. Sweden's come back, 6-5 lead there. placement already happening all day long here. First glimpses at where teams will fit in the future. Poland beating Uganda in the 21st place game earlier this morning. 7:30, midway through this first quarter, still looking for our first score. This is day 10 of this tournament. And at this point, it's about endurance, fatigue, who can grind their way to the best possible placement. Japan looking to continue what's been an awesome summer for them internationally, for their women, for their sixes team, now their junior team. And Ireland, of course, here on home soil. Hakozaki working his way around the cage, turns back around, tries to feed Otsuka in front, couple fakes. Walsh makes the save in front himself. Walsh has been a stone wall thus far. As Japan's gotten some shots off, Walsh has stopped them all. Now Japan working on the ride here. He's trying to make it tough on Ireland in the clear. Somerville continues the run. We had 2 goals against Canada, 5 against Germany. That's 7 goals in his last 2 games he's played here. He has 9 overall in the tournament. You know, of course, these teams getting to know each other better as this tournament goes on. You know, you see some other players now come to the forefront, finding their place just when their teams need it the most. Foley gets his way into the middle. He shoots, shots wide. Restarting here with Ben Collins. Collins had an assist yesterday, took 1 shot. Got Kaigara on him. You see Ireland trying to work some of these shorter stick matchups. Not necessarily going at Sodayama, though Foley got himself some freedom there. Here's Sean Loftus. Couple passes, and Somerville gets the first goal of the game. He stays hot. 1-0 Ireland. So 5 goals yesterday. He picks up right where he left off. Everybody sort of trailing that play, and Liam Horkin was like, okay, Somerville was probably 5 feet away from him, but wide open. Horkin's 3rd assist of this tournament, Somerville's 10th goal. And he gets back in there to take the face-off. Yusuke Takeda trying to get healthy, so we've seen a few different players in here for Japan take these face-offs. This time it's Taisei Chikakane, who's been pretty good, 14 for 23 coming into the day for a team that's been 4th best as a whole. They've got good wings that are able to pick up ground balls. That's helped them big time. Now here they come in transition. There's the shot, gets away from Otsuka's stick. Another look here. As Japan here is on the offensive end, winning that face-off. They trail now 1-0 after the Kevin Somerville goal. UB Colorado College sophomore, kind of taking this tournament now by storm. Hiroki Ono back in, then comes back out. Looking over to Tetsuya Yamada. No shot clock here in international play. Running time in these quarters as Kuroda looks to feed the middle. Now they go down behind the cage with Hakozaki. Got his defender hung up, Loftus. He continues to survey, and he chips it out in front to Kuroda. Kuroda can't catch it cleanly. Who can pick it up cleanly? It's Patrick McKee for a moment. Picked back up, though, by Kuroda for now. He goes down hard. Hit by Brady Moore in there. Frees the ball for Ireland to get it into their offensive end. Here the Ireland sideline imploring, saying, let's go. Aiden Dempsey. Dempsey from Silver Spring, Maryland, making up this U21 squad. And going a man up here will be Team Ireland, as they didn't relinquish the ball there. Enough time had elapsed where they'll get an opportunity with a man up, 30 seconds of time. So 2 teams that don't get penalized a whole lot, a couple early on each side. Japan unable to cash in on their 2-men-up situations. Ireland gets one here. This 30 seconds happens quickly, though. They got to get going here quickly. And they're going to try and drop a play to be able to do that. So timeout here on the field. 1-0 Ireland. Good close game early on here in the 5th place bracket. Ireland retakes the field, leading 1-0 here in this Men's U21 World Championship consolation bracket, 5th place bracket semifinal. They take on Japan here. It's been a tightly contested battle thus far. Ireland now with their first man-up opportunity of the day. Sean Horkin here working on the right side as they'll work it around. Like I said, 30-second penalty, so Ireland has to get going quickly. Long shot by Foley. Ito read it all the way. You know, Ito's number is 43% save percentage as this tournament has gone on. Not all that, doesn't pop out at you, but he's had a really good defense in front of him. So, he hasn't been facing a ton of shots over the course of this tournament, and I feel like he's been more impactful than his numbers show. Made 7 saves against Israel as the penalty expires, so everybody unable to cash in on their men-up opportunities today. Japan with an opportunity to tie here in the first quarter. 1-0 is our score. 2 minutes in the first quarter here in Ireland. Another day in the mid-60s. A breezy day at that. Doesn't seem to be as windy as it was yesterday. As the rain, there is a chance of a passing shower, and all of a sudden it's raining. That happened very fast. That ball taken away, now picked back up here. Rain continuing to fall. This is kind of what it's going to be like all day long. Some passing showers, some breezes. August in Ireland. Yamada trying to work on his short stick with Kinsella on him.
1 minute.
1 minute to go here. Ishikawa had a goal yesterday against Israel, goal against Australia. They try to get it into the middle. It's batted away. How about Galvin? Another great pickup, and he'll take it now the length of the field. Former NE10 all-rookie team for Assumption back in 2021. They say he's got a big heart, and be a short stick D-midi, you surely do. Have to have one of those. Ireland to get the last shot of this first quarter. Clock will stop here below 30 seconds in this first quarter, as it will in the second and third, below 2 minutes in the fourth. 20 on the clock. Shot there just wide by Horkin. Sotoyama's going to go gobble it on up. Chips it over in the middle, dangerously so. Thought he had Ito.
10 seconds.
9 on the clock. Japan on the run. Chikakane in the middle. And they will calmly finish up this first quarter here as the ball goes out of bounds, and the final seconds will tick off as soon as we get restarted into play. Maybe they'll just launch it here at Ito to see if maybe they can find some magic, but maybe it was close. It did go at Ito, and he was have to make a save there. All right, good battle for the first 15. 1-0 Ireland. The hill is filling up here on field 2. Day 10 continues next on Lax Sports Network. Chikakane and Somerville to start the second quarter with a face-off, and Somerville looked like he got the clamp to begin with, and now Japan wins this as they go forward on offense, but the pass is over the head of Otsuka. Japan looking to go quickly to try and tie it up. Unable to do so. 1 goal in that first quarter. Kevin Somerville scoring. He continues his hot hand after the 5 goals against Germany yesterday. Had 3 penalties in the first quarter, none of which anybody was able to capitalize on. 2 against Japan, 2 against Ireland, 1 against Japan, and Ireland, a rare miscue for them as they throw it away. So Japan now taking it over on their offensive end in prime territory to try and tie this up. They continue to be deliberate on the offensive end, as they have been all tournament long. That's right through the crease, picked up through the crease as well. A battle right in front of Walsh. It is Ireland that comes out with it. Jan Kinsella. Kinsella from Annapolis, committed to Gettysburg, getting ready for his high school senior season. Big kid, 6'2", he shoots. Ito there to stop it. And still, good job there by Ireland, especially on a break. Not always definite you're going to get that backup. So good choice as well by the youngster Kinsella. Does have 3 goals in this tournament. See if the Irish can add to their quiet 1-0 lead so far. Sotoyama got his stick on that again. Miura, short stick, able to pick up the ground ball. His 3rd of the tournament. Had 1 against Israel yesterday as well. Couple steps, shot, and the bouncer off the stick and the body of Walsh. Yoshimura trying to take a try at that. Japan does have it backed up. They trail here 1-0. Both teams, I mean, they've got some shots off today on each side. Defenses and goalies stopping most of them. Oh no. Baseball player growing up, makes his way to the cage. Walsh makes another save. Otsuka will be the closest to the ball when it goes out, so it will stay here with Japan after the shot. 11:30 to go here in the second quarter, here in this first half. 1-0, Ireland leading Japan at these men's U21 World Championships. Tom Eschen with you on the call. Just after 4 p.m. Late afternoon, early evening here in Ireland. Spin, shot, score. Yuta Ishikawa ties it at 1.
11 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the second quarter.
21-year-old out of the University of Tokyo. Scored in the last 3 games here for Japan, his 6th of the tournament. A lot of pride in representing his country and aiming to be the best. A lot of pride in being a part of this team. Best junior players and, of course, all of Japan representing their flag here this week and a half or so. Knotted up 1-1. Somerville Chikakane continuing to battle at the face-off X. Picking it up the other way, Komine. Komine through the middle, he shoots! Deflected off of Brady Morin, the body block in front. Morin, who takes a lot of pride in strength training. Helmet comes off there. Loftus the check as Hakozaki picked it up. But how about Brady Morin? You can see he turned around using those big legs for all the squatting he did. Mentioned it during, of course, the COVID. Couldn't go to the gym. Did a lot at home. Really took that to heart. Morin, big kid, 6'2", 195. Now a couple years here removed from high school.
9 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Ireland is penalized 30 seconds.
That will draw a 30-second penalty, so Japan on a man up once again. Their 3rd opportunity of the day. Can they get a goal out of this one? They haven't the first 2. There's a shot. Backed up, but that'll also take some time. 10 seconds on the penalty to go. Kuroda with the shirt tucked in today. Oh, that cost him. The official saying that Kuroda didn't, re-enter from the right spot. Will eventually here make this penalty a lapse, and we'll be back to 6-on-6. Here we go, back to even strength. Over the middle here to Kaigara. Kaigara has been good in this tournament. 8 goals, 2 assists.
9 minutes remaining in the quarter.
He's shown a lot of athleticism, the 20-year-old from Saitama. Back in. Japan settling in here now. New personnel. Kaigara chips it back to Ishikawa. Ishikawa into the middle. Spins again. Shoots with the left. Ishikawa finding himself with some open spaces here. Scoring a goal a few moments ago. Now it's Tanamura. Had a goal against Israel yesterday. He shoots, and into the stick it goes of Thomas Joe Walsh. 58% saves thus far. He made 9 against Germany, allowed just the 2 goals. Like I said, shots are pretty even, 23-20 between Ireland and Germany yesterday. 8 minutes to go in the first half. 1-1. This so far as advertised. Windy, rainy, and even sunny. You wondered heading in, as Japan's defense has been so stout, how they would do against some of the dynamic players on this Irish offense. Connor Foley, Aiden Dempsey. Somerville has the goal. But just the 1 goal allowed here so far in the first half. Ireland looking for another. Foley trying to work on Sodayama. Foley thwarted away by Sodayama. Captain of his college team is that defenseman. Said he had to adjust to that leadership role, but as you can see, as kind of your lead matchup defender, you kind of have to be in that role. Don't really have a choice, and he's continued to adjust and has been a great leader for this Japanese team all tournament long here. Little move for Foley. Can't get too free. Ball bounces back out. Save for Ito. Got down low in his crease after the shot from Dempsey. So Ito keeps Ireland at 1. Now they'll work to clear. 1-1 in this 5th place bracket semifinal. The loser goes to the 7th place game. But 5th is the prize here for both of these squads. Trying to ascend to the next level, trying to get into that top group the next time we play this tournament 4 years from now. Most likely. I feel like nothing's a given these days. Japan didn't really have anything going just there, so now Fumi Suzuki will go and draw something up. All tied up here. Timeout on the field, 1-1. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships on Lax Sports Network. Back live here in Limerick, it's 1-1 between Japan and Ireland. I was really excited for this game after seeing these 2 teams play all tournament long. Knew it was going to be a good contest. So far, it's been just that, a defensive battle. As we've seen these teams, they start to, you're in day 10 of a tournament. Got a bunch of games under your belt. 6 for Ireland and Japan 6 themselves in a very short amount of time. Now is when you dig deep. See what Japan and now Fumi Suzuki drew up in this timeout. Yamada will muscle his way in against the short stick. Looking for some space. He does shoot it. Looking like they're going low against Walsh, and Walsh has answered that call today. Yamada 4 goals, 2 assists in this tournament. Another captain of his college team. Quick restart results in a goal. Japan leads 2-1. Hiroki Ono. Watch this, and maybe this is the recipe. They get it in quickly. Don't let the Irish settle in. Ono beats his man. That's what it takes. His 4th goal of the tournament. He's done a little bit of everything for this team. He's taken some face-offs, worked his way on both ends of the field, goes to law school, Rikyo University, 20 years old. He really joined this sport and this team as a test for himself. Said, I wanted to see how far I could go if I didn't compromise from the beginning when starting a new sport. Devoting everything into this, and now huge goal in a huge game. Michael Songer, the wing, picks it up on the face-off. Whistles happening on field 3 as Sweden and Korea continue to battle it out for a 15th place. That's a 1-goal game. So is this one. Second quarter as Somerville, the goal scorer for Ireland, gets it. So Ireland getting themselves on top early. Japan scoring the last 2. 4 minutes to go in the half. Somerville Flip there to Sean Horkin. Liam Horkin has an assist. Just finished up his senior season in high school at Belmont, a Malden, Massachusetts native. Foley Sotayama. Premier matchup of the day. Foley just trying to find a bit of a window. Turns back to his left. Sotayama's there. Back to his right. Sotayama's there. Spin by Dempsey. Thought he had Foley briefly in front. 3 minutes to go in the half. Dempsey almost dropped it. Does lose it in front. The defense by Tatamatsu enveloping. Ball does fall in front. Foley got a shot on Cage. Picked it up and just missed it. Ireland retains possession. And a timeout. Coach Tom Pryor wants to talk things over with his crew. They trail 2-1 here. Couple minutes to go in the first half. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's U21 Championship live from Limerick on Lax Sports Network. Lax Sports Network's coverage of the U21 Men's World Lacrosse Championship continues tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Final featured game of the day in the main LSN channel. You'll see this is actually later on today, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. England and Puerto Rico will battle it out. I'll be on the call. Should be a good one. Today, that game, the other semifinal between these matchups, and then tomorrow we'll have the 5th place and the 7th place games here on LSN. That's one of them at 7:15 a.m., the other at 10:15 in the morning. So the 5th place is the first game, 7th place the second game of the day. That's what these teams are playing for.
2 minutes.
Two minutes to go here as Ireland unable to get anything after that timeout. And now Japan takes back over offensively, a 2-1 lead. This is what Japan does at their best. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Very procedural on offense, disciplined on defense. Talk about development of a sport, doing all those little things right in a country that is really starting to love this sport. Oh no, with the short stick Galvin on him. You know Galvin's been stout. Over to Hakozaki.
1 minute, 10 seconds.
1:10 to go in the second quarter.
One minute.
Hi, Tanamura. Galvin on him too. Tanamura stops, turns back, looks for somebody to get open. He does find Hakozaki. Hakozaki by himself briefly. He had a lot of time to pass and time to score. Kaigara, the recipient of that. It's 3-1. What patience by Hakozaki behind the cage. All opened up by Tanamura. Got the defense scrambling. Just a little cut there by Kaigara. Just snuck on in. That's his 9th goal of the tournament. Goals against Israel and Australia here as we've reached bracket play. 3-1 Japan. We'll send Michael Songer, Ireland, out there for the face-off. He'll go up against Ono. I believe this is Ono's first face-off of the day. And he wins the clamp. Retreats, now gets it back into his offensive territory. Another key face-off win for Japan. Been pretty even in that category thus far. Ten seconds on the clock. Kaigara looking for an opening. Japan looking for one more shot. Gets a step on Songer, and his pass goes wide of Hakozaki's stick. Morin And that will do it here for the first 30 minutes of play. Ireland got the first, Japan gets the next 3. They're 30 minutes away from the 5th place game. Can Ireland come back? Can Japan hold on? You have to wait for halftime to find out. You're watching the Men's U21 World Championship live from Limerick on Lax Sports Network.
All right, as we return to the second half. Score update, Japan 3, Ireland 1.
Third quarter just underway here in Limerick. You're watching the Men's U21 World Championships live from Limerick, Ireland. It's 3-1 Japan here in the 5th place bracket. This one of the 2 semifinals we have for you here today. England, Puerto Rico getting set to go here in just about 2 hours from now. Ireland led 1-0 after 1, but Japan outshot Ireland 11-4 in the second quarter. They score 3 goals in a row here, and now Ireland looking to get that back. They do win the opening faceoff, get the first possession of the second half. Somerville with the goal today for Ireland, following up a 5-goal day against Germany. But so far, this is what Japan's done to a lot of these teams all tournament long. Once again, taken away by Sotayama. He has been so stout defensively. Gets it taken away back from him from Foley. Sotayama gets it back himself. Now the ball flies out of bounds. Foley staying with the play. Good stick-to-itiveness by the soon-to-be UMass Lowell senior. It'll restart here with Aiden Dempsey, number 16 in white, Foley 18. Now he starts his work again against Sotayama. Gonna see him in his sleep tonight. That's bounced way back towards the center line. Now restarting it, Doherty. Doherty had a goal yesterday. Tries to find his hands free today. The shot just goes wide. Ito just credited with 2 saves, though. Like I said, he kind of makes more plays than you think in goal than really on the stat sheet. He was solid, of course, allowing just 1 goal, and his defense in front of him also makes sure that some of those shots don't hit him. A lot of shots go wide. Another takeaway. Yusuke Nakamura made the hit there, made the check, and Japan gets the ball back after a long offensive possession. Ireland takes it away, though. Once again, Japan trying to get too fast in transition. Here comes Somerville. Got the short stick on him. And they have a cross check here on just that little bit of a rush from Somerville. And now Ireland will take the man up. Second penalty of the day on Japan. No one able to score in their man-ups in the first. That was a hit to the head. That's why they called that. It's going to be a minute against Japan. Ireland with the ball. Excuse me. That's going against Ireland. Somerville had to lower his shoulder. We just got that communicated into us. I had thought that was on the defense. But there was some physical play in Ireland there offensively, so Japan goes back on the man up. That's the 4th penalty of the day on Ireland. 6-on-5. Otsuka unable to get it, though, by the time it goes out of bounds. So Ireland dodges a blow. That's the 4th penalty that they've been able to burn off with this penalty kill unit. They've done a nice job. And now they work to clear, get it back into their offensive end. Galvin, he's been instrumental in that so far. 30 seconds on the penalty. Galvin almost falling out of bounds. They're just trying to save it. We have another flag down. It'll be a 30-second penalty at that. So that should get us back to even, and then Ireland should get themselves a bit of a man up at the end of this, too. So Ireland's penalty is over, excuse me. That penalty did expire. Now they will go a man up here after Japan's 30-second technical penalty. These teams penalized a little more today than I think we expected coming into it. So now Ireland a chance in front. Ito there to make the save. That was Dempsey with the shot. Ito then into his crease, able to gather it. Japan dodges the ball. We still don't have a man-up goal today. Ireland, though, gets it back. Japan struggling in the clearing game. Like I said, they've been disciplined and haven't turned it over a lot, but the last couple games, Israel, they're a little sloppier, if you will, but I think that's also a tribute to the defenses that have adjusted as this tournament has gone on. They still have a 3-1 lead. That shot gets a little bit away. But Ireland will retain possession here with Dempsey. Ireland to restart. Horkin getting himself in the middle and scores. 3-2. Ireland cuts the lead 2-1. Their first goal since the first goal of the game. Horkin gets his goal. He had 2 yesterday against Germany. Excuse me, he had 2 against Germany in their first matchup. Took a shot against Germany yesterday. This is his first goal since the first game of the tournament. How about that? That's a pretty goal on top of it, too. Timeout here on the field. 3-2. Japan still leading, but Ireland working their way back.
It's off now with 9 minutes, 5 seconds. 9:05 left in this quarter.
All right, fresh out of the timeout, Japan does win the faceoff. It was Suzuki that called it, the head coach for Japan, as they try and regroup. Ireland getting a goal, and you can see every goal really adding up and really mattering more here in this 5th place bracket semifinal. Eight minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter now. Japan led 3-1 after 2. Ireland getting the first of the 3rd. See Yamada, big size advantage against Galvin. I don't think Galvin's ever let that bother him in his life, I can imagine, here on the lacrosse field most importantly. Here to Kaigara, trying to get to his left. He has a goal today for Japan. Ishikawa and Ono also the goals. Kaigara spins, looks into the middle. He takes a look at it. Back behind the cage. Fujioka to feed. Nakozaki gets it checked away. That's Brady Morin. Glen Ridge, New Jersey. Morin's been really good on the back end for Ireland today. Blocked a shot, takeaway, ground ball. As Walsh comes out. Hasn't been tested here in this 3rd quarter yet, but Walsh has made 8 saves in that first half. And now over to Michael Songer to take it into the offensive territory. They're attacking 3rd. Ireland an opportunity to tie. Foley, Sotoyama. Ball bouncing a bit there precariously. Sean Loftus able to go pick it back up. Loftus on their European Championship team back in 2019 in that U20 squad. They go and competed there. Ireland lacrosse continues to grow. This group, the U19ers, they finished 7th in 2016. There's a low shot, and Ito there to make the save. Rare opening in front of him, and Ito able to read that all the way. Gets down low, made a really acrobatic save low in the first half, too. Keeping Ireland at 2. See if Japan can get the clear. They haven't been entirely successful in this today, as Chikakane will be able to do so. Japan with possession and a lead, 3-2. They still haven't taken a shot here, though, in this 3rd quarter. 4-0 in favor of the Irish. Matsui Yamada, 4 goals in his campaign over the course of this tournament. He's going to dodge on Kinsella. The short stick gets over the head of Kuroda as Japan now has to keep it in. No shot clock, so the keep it in and get it in is a part of this too. Actually, they had their hands up for a different reason, excuse me. Now it's in. Kaigara working himself through the middle. Now to that left side, goes down the alley. Here comes the slide. Tries to find some space, gets it back out. The shot is up over the head of Walsh. Looked like he had read it pretty well there too once again. Three to 2. Japan, their longest possession of the second half, for sure. Fujioka gets it back out. They'll work it around. Now Kuroda, captain. Over to Kaigara. Ishikawa. Get it back out. Ishikawa shoots. Backed up by Japan. 4 minutes to go in the third. This is one of those long possessions for Japan, just keeping the ball out of the opponent's stick. They take care of it so well, so they don't turn it over. Able to get their best possible look. But they've scored double-digit goals in a bunch of their games. Haven't the last 2, though. Scored 6 against Australia, 8 against Israel. They bogged things down a little bit. There's a shot from Kaigara going wide of the cage. As they get to restart once again. Fujioka gets it back out to Yamada. So they hadn't registered a shot. Now they've got a couple here on this one possession. And they're not going to take a lot of outside shots. They're going to take a good look when they get it. That's deflected in front, back into the stick of Hakozaki it goes, and Japan continues this offensive possession. A long time on defense for the Irish here. Now they work it around into the middle. Kaigara dictating things offensively. They'll try a different combination of players here in different spots. Ishikawa gets it back, he shoots. It's deflected again in front. I think Moore again got in front of that. Another block shot. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. That's right, this started with 4 minutes to go. It's been a 2-minute possession for Japan. They have a 1-goal lead. Couple fakes, shot for Yamada, and I think maybe, no, backed up by Kuroda there. I thought Walsh had the backup to end this marathon possession. Did not. Another pass down, right in front. Scoring is Hakozaki. It all ends with a goal, a successful marathon possession for Japan. They lead 4-2. Hakozaki's 11th goal this tournament. He also scored yesterday against Israel, and just a little look there. Kaigara to Hakozaki. Felt like that's been kind of open here, and they finally take advantage of it.
1 minute, 40 seconds to go in this quarter.
Hakozaki from Ishikawa High School in his 4th year now at Kanazawa University. He's 21 years old. 1 minute here to go in the third quarter. Ono and Somerville for the face-off. Punch back out. Wings trying to go there and get it. The face-off men too. Now it's everybody up for grabs as we have a flag come down. Cross check. Who was it against? That's going to go against Ireland, so Japan will get the ball back. So you just had the ball for 2+ minutes, and now they get a man up, a 6-on-5. And this is a 1-minute penalty. So Ireland's probably going to finish this quarter playing the majority of the time on defense. And there are going to be some tired legs back there. No one has succeeded on a man up yet today.
30 seconds remaining in the quarter.
30 seconds to go in the third. That means they'll stop the clock. The ball goes out of bounds or what have you. Works it over to Ishikawa. He looks on the inside. Little shot. And it is backed up by Welsh, so that's a one-and-done possession. Possession they needed. Short time, 10 seconds. Galvin, another successful clear. So sure-handed with the stick. He's got to be aggressive and go. Now he looks to the middle, sends it over the top, and the final whistle blows here in the third quarter. The teams exchange goals. It's 4-2 as we head to the final 15 minutes of this fifth place bracket semifinal on Lax Sports Network. Fourth quarter about to get underway here in Limerick. 4-2 Japan after 45 minutes. A very hotly contested battle here. The first of two semifinals in this fifth place championship consolation bracket. We'll have England and Puerto Rico later on today. So the winner of that game playing the winner of this game for a shot at fifth. And of course an opportunity to be in that A group the next time we have this tournament. So Ireland has 5 more seconds of their penalty, but Japan didn't finish with possession. So we will have a face-off to begin this fourth quarter. It'll be Michael Songer, the pull in there against, oh no. 4-2 is our score. Tom Eschen here with you on the call. 6 for 9 was Japan heading into that today. And battle for the ground ball, and that ends up in the stick of Japan once again. Yamamoto, but he gets checked out of bounds, and that will go off of him. Ireland trying to restart, but they get it taken away themselves, so Japan will get the ball back here, excuse me. Japan 24 shots to Ireland's 15, and at the end of that third, you saw it. I mean, Japan had the ball for what felt like the final 5 minutes of the quarter. On offense, just taking shot after shot, and finally got a goal out of the whole thing. Kind of like in football, American football, when you got a defense that keeps on delivering, you know, the bend but don't break, but Japan able to get the goal to break it. Like converting on fourth down, if you will. So they have a it's a 2-goal game, but it feels, you know, almost like a 6-goal game at this point. You know Ireland can score quickly, but if Japan gets another one, and they do, watch out, 5-2. Ishikawa's second of the day. It's now a 3-goal game, Japan with a lead. Yamada, they've worked the offense, initiating from the top a lot for him today. He's created some spaces, and Ishikawa finishing himself. Now with 7 goals in the tournament, Yamada gets himself an assist. And now it's a 5-2 game. Japan trying to continue what's been a great summer for them across the board. That third place finish in sixes. Really shocking some people along the way. It's been a dream summer of international play, and they hope to take, I'd imagine, that momentum into San Diego next summer at the Men's Senior World Championships. Ireland got a brief possession, but it's bobbled in front. Tetamatsu comes out with it. You know, Japan wasn't all that far away from playing in these championship semifinals yesterday. Had a lead against Australia in the fourth quarter on Wednesday. Australia came back, thundered back with 4 straight goals. Japan led pretty much that whole game. It just, they haven't been able to be in that situation a whole lot, and I'm sure they'll learn a lot from that. That's kind of how you build, right? That's where the work's put in. Hirota now will work it in Japan. Once again, content to find the best shot possible. Anamura continues to do his work. Now he's trying to find some offense himself. Guarded there by Kinsella. Trying to take advantage of that short stick matchup. He went down hard. Kaigara now. He looks to go in, and the ball goes wide, and we have a couple of flags here on the play. You know, you wonder, you know, we talk about Japan and kind of sucking the life out of these teams, and maybe some frustration setting in here for Ireland. A couple of flags fly, Japan getting another man up. Ireland has not been penalized a lot in this tournament. Had some penalties add up here today. And that's what makes this really interesting as we look at the next matchup possibly here. No matter who it could be, it could be a hit to the head, a couple of hits to the head, a 1-minute penalty. And Japan will have an opportunity at the man up, actually get 2 men up. So 2 hits to the head as 2 flags go flying. 6-on-4 for Japan here.
Ireland penalized for unnecessary roughness ×2.
Couple of unnecessary roughness penalties there.
1 minute each.
We'll talk about this matchup in this possible 5th place game in a moment. See what Japan does here with the 2 men up. Ishikawa shoots. Who's got the backup? It's Walsh. Great job getting out of the cage by Joe Walsh. What a tournament he's had. Now he'll work to clear. Looking for some, he's going to need some help. Nice catch by Morin. And we have a whistle here behind the play, and frustrated at that is Morin. An offside call against Ireland here, so ball goes back over to the Japanese. And now everyone had made their substitutions, so we'll just start with Japan. I just want to set the stage for you here because we talked about this battle between 2 teams that haven't been penalized a lot, pretty disciplined play. Ireland, like I said, they've had a couple penalties rack up, uncharacteristic of them today. Our next game, England-Puerto Rico, could be completely different. A lot more physical, a lot more borderline in some of their play. So that'll make it really interesting when it comes to that 5th place game and the matchup between a team like a Japan or an Ireland and a team like an England or a Puerto Rico. That's tomorrow. Oh, what a feed down to the crease. And Walsh makes the nice save to get in front of it. Point blank for Walsh. Ireland gets it back. Down 3 here in the 4th quarter. You got to get going here now. England, Puerto Rico, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, the other semifinal of this 5th place bracket. I mean, Puerto Rico played in one of the most penalized games of the tournament yesterday against Czech Republic. It got very chippy out there. So imagine that against one of these teams. Style of play, a contrasting style of play at that. Foley tries to work his way in. And it's blocked in front. Ito was getting ready to sprawl out. Actually, Nakamura got his stick and maybe body on it as well. Here comes Foley, backhand. They've kept him off the board today. And now we're here in the 4th quarter. The Japanese defense. Connor Foley has been as good as anybody in this tournament so far. The 17 goals, 7 assists coming in. He's been held off the scoreboard. That was just one, I think his 2nd shot on goal today. If it's called that in the box score. But Sotoyama and his team defensively have done a great job. It's a nice job on the ride by Ireland to get the ball back. It'll start in the stick of Liam Horkin. His grandparents hail from Mayo and Cork. Very close with them, so he loves that culture of here Ireland, and has his brother Sean on the team too. 8 minutes to go in this fourth. Ireland on home soil, looking for a comeback. It'll start with this man, Foley. Looking for some space, tries to get it through Sotayama. Sotayama envelops him, but they'll call Sotayama here, and Ireland will get the man up. Sotayama, who is their main matchup defenseman, 30-second penalty. That's just his third penalty of the tournament. Ireland with a key man up here. They're going to call a timeout. 5-2 Japan, midway through the fourth quarter. Lax Sports Network's coverage of the U21 Men's World Lacrosse Championship continues today. Coming up after our game, we'll have 2 more live matchups from Ireland, as you've seen all day long. Netherlands, Hong Kong, 1 p.m. Eastern, 1:30, England, Puerto Rico. All the games live from Limerick, laxsn.com. Ireland, man up, 30 seconds, take a timeout, need a goal. Midway through the fourth, they're down 5-3. 20 on the penalty. 15 on the penalty. And it gets away. You can see some of the frustration setting in for Ireland. Just can't crack the code of this Japan defense. Japan takes their time to get it back into play, and we're back to 6-on-6 lacrosse. They are something to watch as the sport in Japan continues to grow, approaching 20,000 players. Started with 21 back in 1986. They say it's the second most now in the world that play it at a youth level on up. 10 sticks began what's turned into a huge sport here as Ireland calls a timeout, and I think maybe the Irish players on the field wanted to keep on going here with that, but they are unable to. Timeout again on the field, 5-2 in the fourth. Be sure to check out a new edition of the Lacrosse Now podcast every week. This week we sit down with former U19 Team USA member and PLL Water Dogs midfielder Ryan Conrad. Watch the show on the LSN YouTube page. You can also subscribe to the audio version of Lacrosse Now anywhere you get your podcasts. 5-2 the score. Japan has held the Irish to just 2 goals here today. It has been a defensive show, if you will, if you want to call it that. Foley looking for some space. His shot is wide. Sotayama, of course, back in there after his 30-second penalty. Even strength midway through and counting in this fourth. The goals by Liam Horkin and Kevin Somerville. Somerville started the game with a goal. Horkin had one himself in the third. Here comes Foley. Foley takes the shot, gets by the cage once again. Who had the backup there? Japan thought they had it. It will go the way of the Irish, playing on their home soil. Their best finish, a 7th place in 2016, and now they get one back. Jack Doherty, the goal. They're trying to hurry up. Not much time to go. Clock continues to run. That's Doherty's 4th goal this tournament. The Chaminade High School, now Skidmore sophomore. 5:23 to go here in the fourth. And they're hustling back to that face-off X. Clock will stop below 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Ireland with some signs of life now. They get a goal from Doherty, who also scored against Germany. And now Somerville fighting for the face-off. He wins it, moving forward, the dish. Foley gets his hands free and he scores. 2 in a row for Ireland, it's 5-4. Foley breaks through, his 18th goal of the tournament. A huge face-off win for Somerville, who hadn't been used much at the X up until today. A little bit of a wrinkle there for Ireland. Foley imploring his guys, get back out there. They're down by 1. Back we go. Japan changing it up. It's Ono now against Somerville. And now a stalemate. Stick away from Ono, picked up by Michael Songer. They're getting louder on the hill here on field 2 as Dempsey. 4 minutes to go. Ireland will settle in. They're down 1 here. 2 quick goals. Both within 20 seconds of each other. Orkin spins, shoots. Ito was there, the shot goes wide. Doherty will gather, and now it'll be Foley to gather. The UMass Lowell senior. Senior goes to the cage. Shot also wide. Ireland getting some shots here. Turning the momentum back their direction. Fighting to get in that 5th place game. Here comes Horkin again. Getting a little more aggressive. He's got the matchup, and he shoots. There's 2 minutes to go. Clock will stop for the time being. Here's Foley. Foley gets a step, and he scores! Wait a second. He was in the crease. Goal waved off. It remains 5-4. He finally got a step on Sodayama, but 1 step too many. And now with Japan looking to clear, we get another look here. Sodayama on the back of Foley, who was tiptoeing his way, sliding, and actually had his body moving in the right direction. But they will say that it looked like his knee did fall into the crease. We're going to get on that ride a penalty on Ireland. So 6 on 5 for Japan here. They lead by 1. Now Ireland's going to come out and be aggressive. They have to be. This is where that discipline comes into play for Japan, and maybe more battle-tested after faltering in the 4th against Australia. They'll be learning and using that experience right here, right now. 90 seconds to go in the game. Japan on the precipice of the 5th place game. That'll be tomorrow against the winner of England and Puerto Rico. They'll play in an hour and a half. Ball on the ground. Stick check by Morin. Picked up, though, by Tanamura. Went right into a stick. That penalty about to expire. 1 minute remaining. We're back to 6-on-6 lacrosse. Now time to get everybody involved here for Ireland. Ball's just going to have to come out of the cage. It's a 1-goal game.
44 seconds.
Rain starts to fall here on the Irish soil. Stall warning on Japan. They have to keep it in.
30 seconds.
30 seconds to go. Rain starting to fall harder and harder. Ireland gets the ball back. They're going to have to move quickly. Maybe it'll be in transition. And a timeout called by Tom Pryor. So Ireland gets the ball back. They get possession. They're down 1. And they'll talk things over. We'll be right back. All right, Ireland possession. Less than 20 seconds to go. Horkin over to Dempsey. They get it to Somerville. Somerville shoots. Ito makes the save. And that should do it. Japan is heading to the 5th place game. 1 final second to tick off the clock. And Japan comes in and beats Ireland. Their summer of success continues. And they'll go and play for 5th tomorrow. They'll take on the winner of England and Puerto Rico. The defense doing it all today as they celebrate in enemy territory here in Ireland. The Irish will go and play for 7th place tomorrow, but it'll be Team Japan against England or Puerto Rico. That game you can see at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time here on Lax Sports Network. But that'll do it for our coverage from this one, from the University of Limerick. For the rest of our team, I am Tom Eschen. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you soon.